I'll be honest with you. I was not expecting this in the slightest. So tomorrow we will be hosting Noah Fant, a really good tight end in my opinion. Obviously not as good as he once was, but still a really, really great tight end. Used to play for the Denver Broncos. Was a former first-round pick in 2019. Then went to the Seattle Seahawks in a trade with the whole Russell Wilson situation. But we're going to be hosting him tomorrow and potentially picking him up. This is out of left field for me because, as I've said many times, a safety would be nice to have on our squad. Maybe picking up a offensive guard, right? Potentially would be cool. Tight end was not a position I thought we were going to target. Now Noah Fant is strictly a vertical threat tight end. He's pretty much like a big body wide receiver. Can he block? Sure. But he's more of a vertical threat type of guy. Noah Fant is pretty much like Mike Gesicki. If you think of it as a tight end wise, that's exactly who he is when it comes to a receiving tight end who's going to go across the middle, who's going to catch the ball, and going to make plays in that orientation. So he is only 28 years old, so it's like he's not that old for a tight end. This is going to make our offense better. I mean, if we pick him up, we're going to have two really solid tight ends. Obviously, Eric All's out for the season. So, having a backup tight end who's pretty much Mike Gesicki clone, that's going to be very nice. I mean, 14 games he played last year, started 9. But other than that, I mean, the guy's consistently healthy. He stays on the field, which is awesome. Maybe doesn't put up the best stats, but Seattle the last 3 years were kind of iffy. And then Denver before that was kind of iffy. Like I said, is it one of those situations where I did not expect this to be a thing? Receiving grade 70.2. Like I absolutely love Noah Fant. He is a great, great, great player in my opinion. So it's a guy that, I've always thought like, oh, maybe we'll look at if we need a tight end. But yeah, as you can see, his run blocking grades is not great because he's not a run blocker. He is a vertical threat tight end. He's 6'4", 250. He's a go across the middle, go up and get it type of guy. Like, this is us adding, in theory, a wide receiver 3, even though we don't need a wide receiver 3. We have Yoshi. But this is, in theory, would be like us adding a wide receiver 3. Adding another receiver, right? And honestly, as a receiver-wise, I feel like Noah Fant is, I would say, a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3. Maybe a little bit less than that over the years. But he is that type of great vertical threat tight end. He's like I would say Tanner Hudson. He's better than Tanner Hudson in my opinion. He's like a Mike Gesicki, which, okay, I mean, we're going all out apparently. Our offense struggled a little bit today in training camp, and now the Bengals are like, you know what, we're going out, we're going to get a tight end. That's going to fix the problem. It's right guard, veteran right guard, maybe potentially Brandon Shore, but one of those guys. Nah, that's not going to fix it. We need to get ourselves another vertical threat tight end, because if we have 17 billion options, something's going to work. So this is our current depth chart. Got Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, Eric All obviously out for the season, with an injury. So he would fill in right here, right where Drew Sample is, Noah Fant. And then you would move Drew Sample down. Again, Drew Sample, glorified fullback. Not a vertical threat tight end in the slightest, more of a blocker. So you would just have those two guys as your vertical threat tight ends. Drew Sample is Drew Sample. And then Tanner Hudson moves up. And then Tanner McLaughlin, which, again, that's another thing. I really thought that this year might be the year Tanner McLaughlin goes off. Right, because he obviously last year didn't get as many reps or showed that much. But I guess not with Tanner McLaughlin. So, okay, Hey, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Is this going to better our team? Yes. Yes, it will. Is it the guy I thought we would pick up? Not a chance in bloody heck. But hey, it is what it is. That's kind of, I guess, what we could take away here. Not a safety though. Not a safety. Now maybe he can play safety. Maybe he can play safety. We gotta look into that. I don't think he's ever done it, but you know what? Never say never, right? So maybe this is the moment that this guy decides, hey, playing safety is also a position I can do. I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. Let me know below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.